Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me on a new episode of Crafting with Class. Today I have the Anna Griffin Square Flip Dies card to share with you, and stick around because I have a bonus project to share also. So this is the card that I will be showing you how to put together, and as I mentioned before during my Create project share, this is such a beautiful card, really easy. I just don't think you can make an ugly card with this. So here's what we'll need. So of course we'll need the square flip dies, and these were part of the Create 7 release. So really this main die right here is it. That is the mechanism, that is the card base, and everything else that comes in this kit or in this die set is purely decorative. So you can use any of it that you want to, as little or as much as you want. So this is what makes this card really simple. So I've cut out the pieces already. So it's important that you use a double-sided paper for the card base because you'll see both of them. You'll need some decorative layers. I've cut out two of the base layer, the decorative layer, and then I ended up not using this piece, but I'll show you what I did instead. And then some more of the decorative pieces. Again, you can use as much or as little of the decorative items as you want to give it whatever look that you want. So I've die cut all of these out of rose gold foil because that is what's in the pattern paper. So all you need to do first is fold it in half. Exactly. There are two score lines, one in half and then one a little bit at the top. So that second score line you're going to score away from you. So as a mountain fold, and that's it. That is what creates the mechanism. Super easy. And the rest of what we're going to do is just decorating it. So here's the two border pieces, and these are absolutely beautiful, and they go on either side of the card base. So I'm going to go ahead and add some wet adhesive, and then I'm going to go ahead, and you can see exactly where they should go because they align with the decorative elements along the side. So you're going to put one on one side, and then you're going to put the other on the other side. Now, just so you know, here's a tip. I cut my 12 by 12 paper in half, so it's 6 inches, and I actually got 2 out of one 12 by 12. So just so you know, it is possible. So now what you want to do also, once you put the 2 layers on, is fold it back and make sure that those align. So if not, kind of arrange them and fix them. So now I'm going to work on the little decorative layer. So I'm adding glue, and this is the top decorative layer. I'm going to add it to the shadow layer, just like that. And again, they're easy to line up. And then I'm going to go ahead, set it down, and then just burnish it to make sure that it makes good contact on the paper. Now this is going to be on the front part of the card, but as you can see, it needs to have a hole in the middle so that the mechanism can flip back and forth. Also, because you're going to be seeing both sides, this particular paper should be double-sided. But since mine is not, I die cut 2, and notice I'm only gluing along the edges, and you're going to see why in a moment. So I'm going to sandwich these two pieces together, and I'm going to bring in a die. This is a 3.5 inch die, circle die, and that is just the right fit because this die set should have come with one, truth be told, but it doesn't. So if you have a 3.5 inch circle, so really as long as it's around 3.5 inches, no more, you should be just fine. So this one's the one that worked perfectly for me. And so because I didn't glue it all the way down, I ended up with 2 circles, which I will use as decorative layers. So now this piece is going to go right there, and then you can see how that inside circle mechanism will be able to flip, and that's why you need that circle. So I'm going to go ahead and put glue just on the left hand side that's going to be adhered so that the other side is free floating, and so that circle mechanism can also be able to turn back and forth. So only put glue on half of it and then adhere that half to the left-hand side. You want to make sure that everything is aligned so that the mechanism can move back freely, and so you also want to make sure that on the other side it's aligned as well. And there you go. It moves back and forth just perfectly. So I'm going to take one of those circles that came out from the middle, and I'm going to use this as a decorative layer. So I'm going to add it right here to the middle, like so. And then you can also do the same circle to the other side if you'd like, but I like the paper, so I'm going to leave it as how it is on the back. So now I'm going to go ahead and put glue on this little decorative layer here. So pretty and scallopy. And then I'm going to add some foam adhesive squares to the back of the shadow layer, and then I'm going to attach that to the middle of this front panel that will flip. I'm going to do one more layer, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere the decorative layer on top of the shadow layer with glue, and I'm going to put some foam adhesive on the back of the shadow layer and then put that on top right in the middle for that decorative little look. Isn't that so pretty? Then I have this little sentiment circle. It says thank you. You can put whatever you want on that, and I will just put that with one foam adhesive. And so pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same steps. Again, there's so many decorative parts to this die set. You can put as much or as few decorative elements and layers as you'd like. And so I'm going to go ahead and glue that directly to the shadow layer, and I'm going to go ahead and add some foam adhesive and then put that on the back. And you can put foam adhesive because it will not interrupt the mechanism. And I'm going to do one more layer on the back as well. And if you want it to be very dimensional, instead of gluing it down directly to the shadow layer, you can always put another bit of foam tape if that's the look that you're going for. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere that little medallion to the center, and there is the card. Isn't that so pretty? So now just going to add some flowers. So I'm going to add some foam adhesive so I can give these a little bit of a lift. And the left side, you just want to make sure that the flowers don't interfere with the mechanism, but it really won't just because of how it's designed. So I'm going to put these flowers in the corners, and then I'm going to tuck in this beautiful flower here. And these are the only flowers that I had that are a little bit more fallish. And these came from the Create pack. So I'm going to tuck that in there just like that. And then I'm going to take this one, I'm going to remove that liner because this is a sticker. I'm going to add my own glue, and I'm kind of going back and forth and checking to see where I want this flower to be. And I don't want it to cover up the decorative elements, so I'm going to put it a little bit higher. Now this one I'm going to adhere kind of right behind the first flower, just like that, and layer them up like so. And that is it, friends. This card is done. You can add another sentiment to the second one if you like to, but I'm just going to leave it like that and see how it, and you can put a message right here in the back, a little letter or sentiment. So these are the two that we made at Create, and as I mentioned, I really don't think you can make an ugly card with this die set. It's easy and it looks so pretty. And there's so many different ways to decorate and layer this up. You can make so many different cards. Now here are some tips for cutting out that middle circle. You can use a 3.5-inch circle die as I showed. You can also use the largest decorative layer die. It will automatically cut the circle in the middle, perfect size. And you can also follow the instructions on the inspiration sheet, although that's not my recommended. Next, I'm going to show you a place card step card. Now, this is something that Anna showed us during the craft room session. And as soon as I saw it, I said, stop the madness. This is exactly what I'm looking for. My son is getting married in March. And so I am going to help with some of the decorations, and creating table cards, place cards is one of my tasks. So this was so perfect for me. So let me show you one that I created. So you're going to start off by die cutting that main die. So all you need to do is fold it in half, and that is it. No other things that you need to do other than decorate it. So with this fold, that's what's going to create that little table setting. So all the rest of it is going to be decorating. So I'm adding those two beautiful borders, one on the front and then one on the back as well, to give this decorative look. Now this is really a prototype because I made this to show my future daughter-in-law and get her approval on what she wanted to do, the colors and everything else. So this isn't like the finished version, or the final version I should say. So it's pending her approval. I added some little bits of foam adhesive on the decorative layer, and I'm going to go ahead and add that to that shadow layer. And so with this, this goes right over on the front. So I'm adding it with some foam tape just at the bottom, and then you're going to put that right on top. Now, when I was editing this, I saw, oh wow, I was way off. So I did remove it and kind of centered it a little bit better. So you'll see that in the picture. I decided I wanted to do a little bit more decoration on the back. So I die cut another decorative layer. I put some foam adhesive, and then I'm going to go ahead and attach it to the back just to kind of cover up that little, mechanism back there. So there it is. Isn't that's just pretty all by itself. Now take a cardstock piece, 3.5 by 1 3/4. You're going to fold it in half and then in half again. And what you want to do with this is going to be a support for the little card so it doesn't like fall down. And so you want to make a W like this. And so you just want to put some tape on either end, on both of them, and then remove the liner. And I'm sorry, I'm going to be out of camera frame here, but you just want to put it near the bottom of the inside, and then you want to close the card so it picks up the other side, just like that. And then that will keep the card from being able to just, kind of squish down, and it'll keep it upright is what I want to say. So my idea was to print their engagement picture on vellum and place that in the middle, maybe with a banner for like table 2 or whatever, and then on the back put their names, their wedding date, and any other information she'd like to add. So now just decorating it with a few flowers from my stash, so putting little flowers on either end. And then I wanted to add another little decorative element to the middle, so I die cut another little panel here, and then I'm going to add that with a little bit of foam tape and add it to the middle. I think these will be beautiful additions to the table, and here are the 2 projects for today. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you found these 2 projects fun and you give them a try. Have a lovely craft afternoon, and I'll be back soon with another video. Until next time, bye!